What's up, YouTube? Happy New Year! Thanks so much for tuning into my channel. In this video, I want to talk about 2025 and what I want to focus on in terms of my sewing journey. 2024 was really a lot of fun in terms of sewing, new patterns, figuring out the types of patterns that I like and what I don't like, buying lots of fabrics at thrift stores and creative reuse centers, and just gathering a lot of patterns and fabrics for hypothetical future projects. So in 2025, I definitely want to focus and be more intentional on my sewing journey. Look at the patterns that I have, use those. Look at the fabrics that I have, use those. And also really try to make things that I will actually wear because I don't have unlimited room in my closet. And so I definitely want to make sure that what I'm making is not just to practice sewing or to try out a pattern, but it's something that I intend to wear or to gift to somebody else. So one of the ways that I'm going to be more intentional about my sewing this year is to track special occasions and try to plan for things that I want to wear during those special occasions. So I do have some vacation plans coming up that I want to sew something for. I know there's a wedding this year that I want to attend and I want to make my dress for that. I also plan to go to DC Frocktails, so I definitely have to start planning for that. And so using special occasions as the catalyst for sewing different projects will be helpful for me to plan out my makes, to make sure I'm doing something that I'm going to really love and I'm really going to enjoy wearing. And so that's going to help me be more focused in my sewing in 2025. Another thing that I want to do in 2025 is to make more than one of a pattern that I like. There were a couple of patterns last year that I made that I really liked. Those McCall's pants and a couple of dresses that I made later in the year. I really love those dresses, and so I want to remake some of those patterns, especially in different types of fabrics. That way I can make something that I think I will like, and also I will get an idea of how different types of fabrics perform with these patterns. And so that will help me as a sewist to understand the different types of fabrics that are available and help me plan in the future. Oh, I've worked with this type of fabric before, so I'm going to use that type of fabric for a new pattern. Another thing that I want to focus on this year is making more upcycles. So another part of this channel is thrifting, and I love thrifting. It's one of the best things ever to go to a thrift store and just browse. It's great retail therapy, especially if you're able to find something that's just super cute, something unique, something that fits your style that you wouldn't probably be able to find somewhere else. And so I've thrifted a lot of things this past year, including things that I say to myself, oh, I'm going to use this for upcycling. I'm going to use these jeans or this dress and remake it into something else. So I have a pile of things like that that I want to use in future upcycles. And so this year, I'm really going to dedicate some of my time to doing that. Another thing that I want to focus on in this year is to finish my works in progress. There were a handful, if not more, of projects that I started last year that I didn't finish, either because I came to an instruction that seemed a little confusing, or I didn't have the right notions or the right machine, or I just decided I wasn't interested in that project anymore. So I want to revisit those projects. I already have the fabric cut out and the patterns cut out. I want to go ahead and try to complete those works in progress so that if there was something that was confusing, I'd be able to understand how to complete that step. And that'll help me the next go around if I find a similar challenge in a sewing project, or just to use the fabric that I've already cut. I don't want to waste a lot of things. And so that is another area in which I'm going to focus on this year. Another area that I want to focus on this year in my sewing projects is to sew in outfits. That means I want to sew like a top and a bottom, or maybe sew an accessory to go with a dress. I want to create outfits more than just one-off pieces, because that will help me in wearing them. I'll already have a full outfit ready to go. It will also help me to decide how to combine different colors, different textures. I definitely want to experiment with combining different colors instead of, doing matchy type outfits. Combining different colors using color theory, just giving me an idea of what colors go together, and that can help me styling in other outfits I might have in my closet. Another thing that I want to focus on is to sew to improve my skills. So there are some things that I still haven't really done in my sewing. Things like sewing a project with buttons, like a button-up shirt or button-up dress, sewing a fully lined item. So these are projects that I'd be looking for in this year to improve my sewing skills, something that's going to challenge me, push my sewing further, and make some awesome projects in the process. Another thing that I think is going to help in this year for my sewing journey is to take advantage of the different resources that are available to me through different classes in the area, or even online through the library or other sources. So in previous videos, I talked about your local library and how the library can be a great source of information for sewists, including downloading patterns, getting pattern drafting instructions, as well as other sewing tutorials. And so I want to utilize that, especially in cases where I'm new to a skill. Those resources can help me understand how to do it, make it easier so it's not a lot of trial and error. And that way I will be more prepared to do future projects. Finally, one more thing that I want to focus on this year is to be intentional about buying fabrics. Buying fabrics for projects. I probably don't have the biggest fabric stash, but in my case, I already know how I am as a person. I am a collector. I love collecting things, especially things I like. I have a record collection, I have a pin collection, I have my t-shirt collection I talked about earlier. So I don't really want my fabric stash to be a collection. I want my fabrics to have a purpose. I want them to have a better life as a garment or some other thing. So from now on, I will try my best to avoid fabrics that I don't have a specific project in mind for, except in the case if I'm traveling, especially abroad. If I'm traveling, I really want to look for the fabrics that are in that location, especially if that place has fabrics specifically that are unique to that place. So if I'm traveling, of course, I'm going to look for different fabrics that are unique to that place or represent something about that place, not only to use as a future project, but to have as a souvenir for myself. But locally, I will definitely try my best to avoid just hoarding fabrics with no project in mind. So that's it. Those are my sewing resolutions for 2025. I'm really looking forward to the makes that I'm going to make this year, the new patterns that are coming out, the fabric that I'll buy with purpose, and all those things. So thank you so much for watching this channel and this video. So please comment below and tell me, what are your plans or your resolutions for sewing for 2025? Thanks for watching.